All right, Dara. So, as a two-time Olympian, like, what type of legacy do you hope to leave behind for the future of Bermuda Olympians, specifically maybe a rower or two?
Uh, well, I guess I probably I can speak a little bit more to like a potential future rower. I would say, yeah, that like I guess the only legacy that I would hope to leave is that just to say like it's very possible. Um, Obviously, there's not like a large amount of rowing here in Bermuda, right? Like we have the Bermuda Rowing Association, and I'd recommend anyone who wants to give it a go, contact the Bermuda Rowing Association, and like we row off White's Island. It's a very fun time. But I'd say, but the reality is it's a slightly smaller operation here. And but I would say that, there I know of Bermudians. I mean, what was nice was during the Olympics, even after, I got contacted by young Bermudians who, whether they're school abroad or, they're living in Canada, the US, and the UK, they were rowing for their school or a local club. And they said, oh, it's cool to see a Bermudian at at the Olympics.
Mhm.
And I would just say, yeah, if you like, it's something that if you stick with and you keep rowing and you keep getting better, um, it's very, very possible. It's funny that you guys were talking earlier about like having your own business. And I'm not saying this is a business at all, but like, because you're probably going to be rowing in a single. I mean, maybe if Bermuda wants to put a double or a quad or something like that together, equally cool. But like, because it's your own thing, there's a lot of things you have to figure out for yourself.
Mhm.
And, yes, there's support here from the BOA and the Bermuda Rowing Association, but, a lot of it you have to do yourself. But that's because it's your thing. You want to do it. So you have to be the one who goes, organizes your training environment, finds a coach, says where you're going to be, I'm going to live in the UK because there's rowing there. But it's very possible, if you really, really want it, you can do it. And the only thing to say is that if you're in the rowing world specifically, the rowing world is very, very generous, I would say, and people want to help. My whole rowing experience internationally doesn't happen without the generosity of others. I'm flying around the world, training in different locations, but just on, they invited me and I could train and use their equipment and use their coaching and train with their squads. And that doesn't happen, or even Rob, my former university coach. That doesn't happen without their generosity. And so, but it's very, very doable. And if you want to do it, you can achieve it.
All right. We got some questions from the audience there. They love your last name, Mr. Alizadeh. What does a normal training day look like for you? Is asking Mark Officy Phillips.
Yeah. So a typical day is, so I train 3 times a day. So it'll typically be, I wake up at 5 and I'll head down to the river and get on for a longer session. And so rowing is a mileage sport. So most of the time I'm spent just training at what we call zone 2 training. So, try to keep my heart rate between like 65 to 72% of max heart rate. And it's just going out and spending miles. So like whether it's 24 kilometers, 20 kilometers, something like this, that'll be the first session. I'll come in, I'll have a bit of a snack, a little bit of recovery. Then I'll go back out for a second session. That's a little bit shorter, either from 10 to 16 kilometers. And then, that'll be the morning. I'll come back home, have a bit of a rest, just recovering from the morning, to get ready for a third session, which is either on a stationary bike or the rowing machine. And then otherwise I've got weightlifting. And so, yeah, it's basic. And then, now expand that over a week, with 6 days a week, 3 times a day, and it culminates at about like 25 hours a week. To divvy that up by the 6 days, you're looking at like around anywhere roughly from 3 to 5 hours a day each day. And yeah, and that's it. And Sundays are my off day. And so that's the one day I can sleep in.
Wow. Wow. We got some more questions. We've got, this is an interesting one. Same person's asking, what songs are your race day playlists? What songs are on your race day playlist?
So I guess the first thing I would say is I now don't listen to any music. I used to have a whole playlist of like, it used to be like pump up songs, like, you know, like Eminem and all that stuff. I don't listen to that anymore. I don't listen to like really any music, because I want to hear the environment that I'm in. So like I want to hear kind of like the stands and the fans and the music that's playing on the speakers and then the announcer. I want to hear all that because that's what I'm going to be hearing when racing. There was one song that I still listen to, and I don't know if I'm well. So it's "Rompin' Shop" by Vibe Cartel.
You could say it.
Okay, well that's it. Yeah, that because that song, like, just because it kind of, you know, it kind of gets you loose and like it keeps you like, you know, just because of how we like you launch 45 minutes before your race, so you can't get super hyped. So you just want to stay relaxed. You want to stay kind of bopping around and like, you know, it's a great song for that. And I like to sing it's got the right beats per minute for doing exactly that. And so that's why I listen to it.